Hey friends, welcome back to Entrusted to Lead. I'm Danita Cummins, and today I want to speak directly to the leader in you who's carrying questions like these. Am I really called to do this? Am I doing enough? Or why isn't this clear by now? Well, today I'm going to let you in on a small nugget of truth. God is not confused about your calling, friend. And even when the path feels foggy, He is still faithful and He's still guiding you. So today we're going to unpack how to reconnect with the values that really drive you, why clarity isn't something you hustle into, and a powerful new tool that I created to help you take the next steps in peace. So open your journal or take a good walk and grab a cup of coffee. So let's get started. If you're like many of the leaders I coach, you've probably spent years achieving, performing, and making it look easy, even when it's not. You've been the go-to, the fixer, or the leader who others trust, but inside, you might be feeling stuck or stretched thin. And I get it, because I've been there. That's why I wrote Promise Over Purpose. It reminds you that your identity doesn't come from your resume. It comes from who God says you are, and your purpose is about more than just your duty title or your bank account. Psalm 46:10 says, "Cease striving and know that I am God." Or put another way, we like to say, "Be still and know that I am Lord." In the Hebrew, the word "be still" is a term that can be rendered as relax or let go or stop. But in our human minds, that concept doesn't make sense. It's like striving versus surrender. How do we do that? We just stop everything? How is that even possible? One commentary on this verse says it implies an act of surrender, which is a release of the striving and the hostility. And I thought that word was important because have you ever considered what you do as a hostile position? It's interesting, to be sure. In the literal terms, this verse doesn't mean to just sit quietly and listen for God. It's not a passive posture. God's people faithfully trust that God will be their source of strength, like we see in Exodus 14:13. But this trust comes from a submission or a peace when we embrace what it means to know that I am God. In this season of my life, I am navigating through a tender and often tumultuous be still and know lesson. Can you relate? My husband and I are launching a new business venture, and there'll be more of that to come in the next few months. But we've been working behind the scenes since last fall. And it was a prompting from a verse in the book of Esther that we like to say, "What if you were made for such a time as this?" Today, my husband and I are leaning into that promise, and we're going after all that God has for us, as our pastor likes to say. But it is a beautiful, crazy adventure where we follow God, but we don't really know what's going to be today or tomorrow. And the trust and the surrender and our faith in who He is and the promises that He has for us doesn't make the days any easier to navigate sometimes. Or when our family members experience difficult, painful moments of loss, that journey doesn't make my mom heart any wiser or stronger. I still sit on the floor some days or stand in the pew at church with my head bowed low, seeking to know His plan. And my heart and mind are still asking these questions. Are you the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, Lord? Are you still the one who parts the sea with your breath? Because I need your promises to be true today. Without them, my hope wanes. Can you relate? I'm sure that you can, friend. So there is hope and encouragement for you today. Later this month, I'm going to share my conversation with Jack Cohen, who is a brilliant strategist, super fun conversationalist, and a values-based leader. During our recent chat, he reminded me that clarity doesn't always come from the outside. It starts from within. And when you know your values, you're going to lead with greater peace. You speak more with clarity, you stop hustling for approval, and you start showing up from a very rooted place. You radiate a bold confidence that brings peace and calm into the spaces where you both work and you serve. But what happens if you don't feel peace or clarity? Maybe you're stuck in confusion. And if that's the case, have you considered that the circumstances might not be the problem? Maybe what you need isn't a new role, a new job, a new office, a new team. Maybe it's a return to your real values. So we're going to take a moment and talk about your leadership values, because if you're feeling unclear, scattered, or stuck, this might be the key. So many leaders feel overwhelmed, but not because they're unqualified. It's because they're misaligned. Your values are your internal compass, and they are the filter you use, often unconsciously, to make decisions or to build teams or to set boundaries and how we lead others. But when we don't name them, we can't really lead from them. So here's a simple way to get started. But remember, I've created a quiz to help you figure it out. And I'll share the link in the show note, but you can access it by jumping over to danitacummins.com to take the free assessment. You know, one of the biggest shifts I see in coaching is when a leader finally gets language about why they lead the way they lead. Often we skip right over this very core part of the leadership and purpose conversation, which is your values, not your goals, not your title, not your 5-year plan. I am talking about the deeply held convictions and priorities that shape how you show up in the world, even when no one's watching. Do you even know what those are? Here is a hidden truth. You are never going to feel at peace in your purpose if you're not aligned with your values. You will keep striving, you will keep questioning, you will keep saying yes when you should say no, and no when you should be stepping out in faith. But when you know your values, and I mean really know them, then you stop performing for clarity and you start anchoring into them. Your values become your compass. They help you discern what's from God and what's just noise. They help you lead with consistency, even in chaos. And they bring peace because you're no longer trying to be everything to everyone. You are just trying to be who you were called to be. And listen, values aren't just nice words to have on a wall. And I love words on a wall. If you came to my house, every room has words somewhere. But they are how you decide. They're how you prioritize, and they are how you protect your peace. So along with the quiz, here's a reflection question that I want you to consider this month. And this might take a little bit of time, but you are worth it. So I want you to take 10 or 15 minutes this week and sit down with this question. What values have been driving my decisions lately? And be honest, friend. Be truthful. Ask or consider this. Are you leading from a place of peace or from pressure? Are you leading from a place of faith or fear? And are you leading from a place of integrity or image? And now ask, which of my true values have I been honoring? Which ones have I been compromising, even unintentionally? And what's one small way that I can realign this week? I want you to arrive at this place. I want you to get to the place where you can say, this week, I choose to lead from blank, not blank. So here are some examples. This week, I choose to lead from peace, not urgency. This week, I choose to lead from clarity, not confusion. Or this week, I choose to lead from courage, not comfort. That simple exercise will bring you the clarity that you need to start to see how your values align, or maybe they're misaligned from your leadership journey. Okay? So I want you to try it and let me know what you think. You can always leave a comment or send me a DM or reply to an email, whatever works for you. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're in a season where you want to rebuild your leadership with clarity and strategy and peace, then I invite you to book a free leadership coaching clarity call with me. Let's talk about where you are, where God is leading you, and how you can get there without burning out. I would be super excited to have the conversation with you. So as we close today, I want to offer you some words of encouragement. Friend, you are not behind, nor are you broken. You are just becoming. And that's okay. And the one who called you is faithful to complete what he started in you. That is a promise. So I want you to remember that your values are the compass that will guide you there with peace and clarity. You have been entrusted to lead, okay? So let's continue to do that by leading from the promise and not from pressure. Don't forget to keep showing up every day, even when it hurts, because you matter. Okay, friend, I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you later.